Welcome to lecture Control Structures in Java. Today we'll explore how Java controls the flow of execution using decision statements and loops. Understanding these structures will allow you to write dynamic and interactive programs. In Java, the order in which statements are executed is called program flow. A simple program runs its statements one after another in sequential order. A more complex program may alter this flow using control structures such as loops and decision statements. Understanding how to control the flow of a program is crucial for building efficient and logical applications. Control structures alter the normal flow of a program. They act like road signs, directing execution based on conditions and repetition. There are two types of control structures. One is decision statements. These allow the program to make choices. The other one is loops. Loops allow the program to repeat actions. Decision statements allow Java programs to execute specific code only when certain conditions are met. There are two types of decision statements in Java. If statements. These statements execute code only if a condition is true. The other one is switch statements. Switch statements test multiple cases for a given value. Decision making is essential in programming because it helps control the behavior of an application based on user input or system conditions. The if statement allows us to execute a statement only if a condition is true. If expression evaluates to true, the statement inside the curly braces is executed. If expression evaluates to false, the statement is skipped and the program continues. The flow diagram for if statement is as shown in the slide. The if-else statement allows Java to execute one block of code if the condition is true, and a different block if the condition is false. The flow diagram for if-else statement is as shown on the slide. Sometimes we need to check multiple conditions. We can chain if-else statements to check for several possibilities. This is useful when handling multiple outcomes. The switch statement allows us to test several cases for a given expression, making code more readable than multiple if-else statements. The expression must be of type char, byte, short, int, string, enum, but not float, double, and long. Switch statements are often faster than chained if-else statements. The flow diagram for switch statement is as shown in the slide. By default, all cases after a match in a switch statement will be executed. To prevent this, we use the break statement. Without break, Java executes all cases below the matched case. The flow diagram for switch statement with break is as shown in this slide. Remember the chained if-else block. We can implement it using switch statement. In this syntax, we use the improved version of switch statement where there is no need of break statement. A loop allows us to execute a statement multiple times. Java has 4 types of loops. The first one is while loop. It repeats as long as the condition is true. The second is do while loop. Executes at least once, then repeats if condition is true. For loop. It repeats a fixed number of times. For each loop is used for iterating over arrays and collections. The while loop runs as long as the condition is true. This is an example of using while loop to add integers from 1 to 10. The do while loop guarantees at least one execution before checking the condition. We can add integers from 1 to 10 using the do while loop. The for loop provides a concise way to write loops. Using for loop, we can print the sum of integers from 1 to 10. If a loop never stops, it's called an infinite loop. Be careful with infinite loops, as they can crash their program. This is another example of for loop. In for loop, all the three expressions are optional. This slide shows the flowchart explaining the while loop and the for loop. The continue statement skips the rest of the loop's body and jumps to the next iteration. In this example, we add integers from 1 to 10, escaping those which are divisible by 3. The break statement stops a loop entirely. Go through this example where break and continue statements are used. The answers for this quiz is, in the first one, in switch statements we can use as conditions char, byte, short or int, string, enumerator, and the other wrapper classes like character, byte, short, integer. The second question, the answer is a semicolon. For the third one, it's the continue statement.